makes a video game fun depends entirely on the player, and the same can be said about good comedy.
It's entirely subjective, which is why putting this list together was incredibly difficult and why people will inevitably argue our recommendations in the comments below, because they always do and they love to.
But after exhaustive research, here are 8 games we have determined to be funny.
It's been scientifically proven that goats are a funny animal. It's sort of the dog of the barn. They look funny, sound funny.
You just thinking about goats over there?
I love the goat. They look funny, sound funny, and do funny stuff like eat the garbage and go on the roof.
A realistic simulator about actual goats could have been funny on its own, but we're happy that Goat Simulator took some liberties to make goats even funnier, creating an intentionally half-busted physics sandbox where you can make the goat run around and blowing shit up wearing a jetpack and roller skates.
Cooking isn't as funny as goats. What? You wrote that line? Cooking isn't as funny as goats?
Yeah, man, what do you want?
What about cooking goats?
Just read the script.
We don't. Cooking isn't as funny as goats. I disagree. And Cooking Simulator is more of an actual sim than Goat Simulator, with a campaign where players must prepare various meals in a virtual kitchen for hungry customers.
However, there's also a free play mode where you can say F that and throw salami out the window, or microwave a lemon, or explode a propane tank by burning it with a creme brulee torch.
Burning and exploding things can be funny, always, and it can also be serious. Several times as well. In most Far Cry games, it's mostly treated as a serious thing.
But Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon combined the burning shit and exploding things that Far Cry is known for with the send-up of the cliches of the 1980s action movies and modern-day action games, both of which often take themselves a bit too seriously to be taken seriously.
They say that laughter is the best medicine, but it can also be more contagious than the deadliest disease.
Here are some games that are extra funny when played with your friends, relatives, or lovers.
Or both. Snipperclips is a co-op puzzle game where you and friends playing as paper cutout things snip slices out of each other to reform your body shapes and solve puzzles.
Chopping paper body parts off of each other rarely goes how you want it to, and so you usually end up creating weird and deformed limping paper monster people that are basically saying kill me, even though they're still smiling. Cut me, big boy, get on top of me.
Cut up in my ass and get inside me.
Get inside me!
Go on top of my limp neck and cut my legs.
What if you took the frantic multiplayer combat of Super Smash Bros. And removed all the familiar beloved characters, items, assists, and AAA fine-tuned polish, and then made it a game about cartoon ducks trying to kill each other with guns?
Quack, quack, quack. Frantic aquatic waterfowl combat is funny to begin with, but Duck Game regularly throws bizarre curveballs at players, like a level made entirely of explosive barrels, where the only available weapon is a hand grenade, and you can guess how that one plays out.
As the saying goes, too many cooks spoil the broth, and that's exactly the premise of Overcooked, a game in which men, women, and raccoons in wheelchairs must put aside their differences to prepare meals in a restaurant.
Why do you say it like Overcooked? You always do that stuff. You're like Best Buy, Whole Foods.
I don't know. I don't know why they let me talk at all.
You put the emphasis on the asses. But what if instead of a restaurant, it was on the back of 2 moving trucks? As Overcooked ramps up the difficulty on the recipes, its levels get increasingly difficult to navigate, which is very, very fun.
Nidhogg is a 2-player sword fighting game that manages to be incredibly fast-paced and surprisingly gruesome despite its minimalist presentation.
Every hit is sudden death, respawns are instantaneous, and everyone plays as the exact same character who can roll, hop, parry, and hurl their sword. You know what?
Nidhogg.
It rules!
Nidhogg.
Hurt my throat. Hurt my throat. New Super. Let me do that. The Nidhogg really got him in my neck.
Nidhogg will you up.
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is a multiplayer spin on the classic 2D Mario formula where up to 4 players cooperate to reach the end of the level and not get in large arguments in their living rooms.
The Super Mario games are vibrant and happy, so the juxtaposition of adults screaming curses over them while a selfish player starts speedrunning the stage, killing his friends in the process, is genuinely hilarious.
From the ass. Those are games we think are funny, but like we said, comedy is subjective.
Which means that all of our recommendations are probably wrong, so just tell us how unfunny you think those games and our jokes are.
Or share some recommendations of your own, if you can. What do you think is a funny game? Tell us. Prove us wrong. Tell us we're stupid.
And remember, for all your arbitrarily ranked lists of video games, movies, and TV shows, you're already in the number 3 spot, IGN.
I think we should be number 5.
I think we should redo the rankings in that
The number 1 best list.
The number 1 spot for lists.
What's the number 1 site for lists?
No particular order.
Is it IGN? No one knows. No one even knows what that word means, IGN. Iguanodon?